Hi, I'm attorney Vincent Davis, and I've been fighting CPS for over 35 years. Through my years of experience, I've gained invaluable insights that I'm ready to share with you. If you're a parent or a caregiver or a relative, we need to talk. I'm offering a new opportunity for you to speak with me on a one-on-one basis. Ask me any questions, and I'll provide you with the insight you need to take steps in your CPS case. Members get everything they need to gain confidence and the knowledge that they need to support necessary to truly fight back. And as a special thank you for attending, I have a special offer just for you. Don't miss out, join us, and let's take that next step together. I'll see you at the question and answer event.
Good evening and welcome to my podcast, Fight CPS with Bob Pace. As soon as my image stops bouncing around. We are very lucky to have a guest tonight. Oh, I'm so happy. And she'll be able to talk about her case very shortly. Her name is Liana. Am I pronounced it okay?
Ileana.
Oh, Ileana. Boy, Ileana. Well, glad to meet you. And where are you from, Ileana?
Florida.
What county?
Hillsborough.
Hillsborough County. Okay. And you have a CPS case. Great. Well, I want to welcome everybody that just said come in. This is a live podcast. You found me on Facebook, Fighting CPS with Bob Pace. I'm broadcasting on YouTube using the StreamYard application. I'm on twice a day, 7 days a week, and I come on at 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time and in the evening at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I've been doing this for over a year and I've spoken to over 600 people around the world too, because I've had about 15 countries that have also text a message in here. So they all have something in common, how horrible CPS has been. And with that being said, there are 4 ways to interact with this podcast. 1 is just by being in this room. 2 is you can text me a message. You can it could be a comment or it could be a question. And all you do is state your first name and then your city or county that you're from, and the city and the state. And if you're from outside the United States, your country or your province, where it may be. And then try to tell something about your case a little bit. Second way is that you can be a guest, like we have tonight with Ileana, who is our guest tonight. And to be a guest, all you have to do is pick one of my shows, evening or morning, Saturday through Sunday through Monday. And you tell my show producer, Grace, who works very hard behind the scenes, and she'll get you hooked up to be a guest. So that is what we can do there. And she'll tell you what you can do and not do. And so that's to be a guest. The third way is to, let me see here. I don't know if we want to try the phone call tonight. I think since we have a guest, I want to devote all my time to you. The fourth way is the call in, but right now at the moment, I want to devote my time to you, Ileana, and deal with your case. Later, we can take phone calls. So those are the 4 ways that you can interact. And then furthermore, if you don't know what CPS is, I call it the Child Protection System. Every state and every county has them. They're different names. Like in Arizona, it's the Department of Children's Services, DCS. In California, it's a Child Protection System. It's services. So there's so many different ones. I just call it Child Protection System. And it is posed to protect our children from neglect and abuse. It's mandated by Congress. It's a branch of social services. They're also supposed to help a family in need for food, clothing, shelter, education, transportation, medical, and even get a job. They're supposed to do that. And lastly, if they need to break the family apart because of domestic violence, and they have to split the family apart. They need to put the family back together, called family reunification. And that's real important. These are the things that CPS is supposed to do. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case. 99% of the people that call in, lay people, these are not professionals, their cases are 50-50 if it's really true. They use CPS to alienate parents, alienate children, and also CPS does it too to traffic your child. So it's really a horrible, horrible experience. And so I would like to let Ileana sort of tell me about her case. I know everybody's anxious. I'm anxious. And she's from Florida, down in the Hennessy County, you said?
Hillsborough County,
Hillsborough
Tampa.
County. Tampa. Okay, if you could start with the beginning of your case and tell me, I guess, first your family makeup. What is your family? Are you a husband, wife?
Well, now, yes, I just got married a year ago. But when
When
the
you started at CPS, where it started, how did it start with your first child? Were you guys boyfriend, girlfriend, or lovers, or?
no, it wasn't anything like that. It came in for drugs. I had a relapse in on February of 2022.
Okay.
I already knew what was coming, so without going to court or anything, I just went ahead and went and got an assessment at DACO, because that's where they always send you. I went, got an assessment, and I started working with them right away.
Okay.
That was like almost 3 years ago. And
What
I
about the
finished
father of
once
the children?
the case
Like,
transferred from CPI to DCF. I was already engaged in treatment and everything.
even
I
with the
finished
first,
my case plan in the year mark.
okay.
After that, um, the case stalled. They stole my case. I kept asking, when is
Typical.
this going to happen? When is that going to happen? And, oh, well, we got to do meetings. And everything was blamed on the garden ad litem always.
Okay.
Then when they finally gave me my unsupervised, I was on unsupervised visits for like a few months. I was just visiting with my kids, and I was just, drug screening, visiting with my kids, drug screening. Nothing was happening. At the time, my car had broke down during one of my visits, and I called my now husband to come and help me out, because we were in the middle of the highway and stuff. So when DCF found out, they took away my visits. They were trying to take them away without a court order. So the case manager, she forced me to come visit my kids at her office for my next visit. That went horribly wrong. She got in my face in front of my kids. She threatened me in front of my kids. She blocked the doorways, would not let me leave with my kids. She blocked the bathroom stall. She in front of my kids, she did all this. And she promised me that she was gonna make sure that I was never with my kids again. And she's doing just that. It's been almost 3 years. So when they finally took away my visits, I had got back on track.
All right. There's some important information. I think at the very beginning, you must have had a father with these children. I mean, how many children are we talking about?
It's two of them, but the father was not involved.
There was two of them?
Yes.
Okay. Now, at the very beginning, when the first child was born, was there a father?
Well, yeah, my children have fathers, but they never wanted to be involved.
That's what I need to know. So you're a single mom raising two children, and what were the ages? What are the ages now? What are the ages now?
Now they're one is almost 5 and the other one is almost 7.
Okay. Now, at the very beginning, what made you? I mean, what did CPS get involved with you at the very beginning, the day that you first got involved with CPS?
I had an overdose.
Okay. So You must have. Did the police come when you had the overdose?
Yes.
Okay, so the police usually contacts the child protection system, who will then probably, since you had an overdose and there was not a father involved, will right away put the kids in foster care and have you go through a treatment program. And they're supposed to bring you back with your children. Now, was there any time in the very beginning where they had a planning meeting so that your children could stay at one of your relatives?
No, they never offered for my kids to be with family. Never.
Right. Were you once in foster care yourself?
No.
Okay. So out of the blue, they didn't do their job, which is one of the jobs that they did. Of course, you didn't know about that, but that is wrong. They violated your constitutional rights. How it usually works is that when they receive the call, they probably receive the call from a policeman. We have a mother drug overdose. She has 2 children. Well, they're going to come out and investigate, and they're going to put the children. They usually should put the children with next of kin, not with foster parents. But they want to make money. It's a $1 trillion business. So they're going to sit there and say, we need to put them in foster care. And then they're going to build you up year after year to let you down. Like right now, it sounds like they let you down. And so it's going to get worse before it gets better. It'll get better, then worse, better than worse. And at any time, did you have a real attorney or did you have a court appointed attorney?
I've had like probably over 5 appointed attorneys who never talked to me, never answered their phones, never came to court. I just now finally got an attorney that is working with me.
Right. Well, here's the problem with court appointed attorneys, and this is for all my listeners out there. The court appointed attorneys are just criminal law attorneys freshly out of law school. They have no experience in what is called dependency law. You're in the dependency law right now that deals with juveniles and family dependency law. And you need a lawyer that has that. And also, you need a lawyer that is not a court appointed, because social services, the CPS, is hoping you take a court appointed attorney because they can manipulate you, because they won't do anything. They won't meet with you. They won't talk to you. They won't fight in your case. And they're just yes people. So you can go around for years going nowhere. And you probably were frustrated doing that. How long before they started your treatment program? I mean, were your children initially put into foster care and you had visitations or no visitations?
Well, I put myself in a program as soon as they got taken by CPI before it was transferred to DCF. I just went ahead and did everything, all the tasks that I knew that the court was going to tell me to do anyway. And I started it. So by the time it got transferred to DCF, I had already started everything.
All right. And how did the CPS handle that part with you? Did they try to give you a plan to take some parenting classes or a drug rehab program? What did they do?
I was already doing all that, so they allowed me to continue to do everything.
Did they approve?
Because I already had housing, I already had income, so and those things are part of the case plan. So they gave me parenting and just to continue treatment at a behavioral center.
Did you take a drug test?
I'm sorry?
Did you take a drug test every week or every month?
I've been taking drug screens twice a week for nearly 3 years now. All negative.
And all negative. Good. I'm glad.
All negative.
Okay, so we got that part done there. Now your case has been going on for 3 years?
Nearly 3 years.
Have they talked about family reunification?
We are headed to TPR.
You mean they're going to want to terminate your rights?
Yes.
Well, you definitely don't want that to happen. If it does, you can appeal that, by the way. But you don't want to have your rights terminated. There's no reason. If someone messes up in life, you're allowed to fix whatever your mess up part is. The best parents are the biological parents. Now, not having a father is kind of hard. Did they try to contact the father of your two children?
Yeah, but they wouldn't come in. One
Right.
did come forward. The other one, he would not come forward.
Right. Now, did he, the one that came forward, help out at all, or is he out of the picture?
He tried, but they gave him the baby, which is his, but he messed up, so they took the baby from him and put her back in foster care
Oh, so they actually awarded him temporary custody of your two daughters.
of one of them.
Oh, okay. Was that the one that he's so there's two fathers each of these children then, right?
Yes,
Okay. And so now you have a love interest in your life. You're engaged, right, to be married?
I'm married. I just got
Oh,
married in a year ago.
well, congratulations. I'm glad you did that part right too. Um,
Thank
did
you.
did the agency in Florida tell you children until the case was closed? Did they disclose that to you?
I'm sorry.
Did the CPS disclose to you that you can't have children while your case is open?
They never spoke to me about that.
Well, you have to be careful because, um, and again, I'm not sure about Florida. I have to look it up. But in California, you cannot have any more children till your case is closed. Otherwise, they take that child and put them in foster care. So I'm just giving you a heads up
Yeah,
that
I'm
you have to
protecting
be careful.
myself.
Right, I know, but it's like that. Now, this new man in your life, is he wanted to be a father for those two children?
Yes, he took parenting. He didn't have to, but he went ahead and took parenting.
Okay.
And they were saying that they were gonna do a hair follicle on him to make sure that he's fine. And but they said they're not interested in moving forward with anything that has got to do with him or doing a home study or anything because they want to adopt out my kids.
Now, why do they want to adopt out your kids? What else have you done besides overdosing on drugs?
I've done every single thing that they asked me to do, even more. This whole time they have played with my visits, like, they, for a while, I didn't see my kids for 2 months. And now they just cut my visits to twice a month because of my kids' behavior, which is not clear to me what that has to do with me.
What's
So
happened to your kids' behavior? What's happened there?
they said that because they probably miss me and they don't know how to deal with their emotions and they might need a little space from me. So they have a
I think
doctor.
also, right, they also could be molested by the foster parents. They could be molested by the foster parents' own children. See, if the foster kid, do the foster people have any children themselves?
No, they don't.
Do they have other foster kids or just your two?
Just my two.
Well, it's sad to say that studies have shown that the foster dad does molest girls. And I'm not saying that's in your case, but studies have shown that because they take advantage because they look at in their perverted mind that no one's ever going to rat on them. And if they did, they'll say all the kids are making it up. And as they get older, now it's 5. And how old is the other one? 9?
6.
6. 5 and 6 are very precocious. And I really would hate to think that is happening there. So these current foster parents, are these the ones that want to adopt the kids?
They want to adopt my kids, yes.
You know, these foster parents are being paid money by the CPS. They're paid something in a neighborhood of $5,000 a month. I could be wrong. It could be more. It could be a little bit less. I just know that in my case, my children were not adopted, but since they're in foster care, the agency was stealing money from the state, who steals money from the federal, to the tune of $20,000 per child per month. That was 3 children. Mine were taken. That was $60,000. So that is really, 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 really tough. Now, this attorney you have is what kind of a background is his law?
Um, well, they just changed my attorney, so I'm just now getting to know her. But from all the other ones I've had, this is the only one that has spoken to me, that has interviewed me, that has told me about my rights, and she says she's gonna fight for me, and she assures me that she can turn this whole thing around.
Well, that's good news. But does she have dependency law, or is she just a criminal attorney?
She told me that she all she told me was that she was in the system doing this for 30 years.
What system?
I'm not sure if it was the dependency. She works in the regional council. I
Is
don't know
she a
if it's
private?
dependency or criminal.
Is she a private attorney?
She's not a private attorney, no.
So she works for CPS. That's
Mm-hmm.
a appointed attorney. That's not good news, but well, that's the best. And you can't afford a dependency attorney, can you? Okay, that's what most people will tell me, and I know it's hard. And I know the emotion you're going through because they're playing with you. Now they want to terminate your rights. That is wrong for them to think about terminating your rights. That's not right to do that. I'm going to try to get one of my people that are regular in my room that does help me. Her name is Faye, and I'm going to see if she has some ideas that would help. She's from Kentucky. And have you seen my show before?
No. I think
Okay.
a long time ago I did come across it on Facebook, but I didn't really.
Well, I'm glad. So how did you find out about this podcast?
Because well, I'm always looking for like support, on Facebook and stuff, and I belong to a few groups, and I
Okay.
came across this one, and so I messaged the program so that I can be in it and be able to tell my
Good.
story.
I'm so glad you did. And I'm so glad that you came to us there.
Thank
So that
you.
was really, 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 really good. Faye, can you hear me? Faye?
Yes, hello.
Oh,
You have
got her. I think she told me she was standing by, so I don't know what was happening there, but she's a real good listener and she sometimes has ideas too. So let me see if I can get her another way. So right now, you're at the termination of your rights.
Correct.
And have they said that they're going ahead with it, or if you told them you don't want that? What happens when you tell your attorney, your new one, that you don't want that?
Yeah, no, we objected. So all I know right now, I think an advisory hearing on the 26th, and I think they want to start trial in January.
For your termination.
Right.
Okay. I don't know. Faye, are you connected? Hello, Faye. Well, I thought that she'd be available. She told me earlier today she would be. Now, Faye, are you there? Okay, I guess she's not there. I don't know what's happened. Sometimes it's always. Now, you have what's your next court date? What's your next court date?
November 26th.
Yeah. Hey, Faye, I have a guest tonight. Her name is Ileana, and she's from Florida. And right now, they want to terminate her rights. And I was wondering if maybe there's some suggestions you might have that can help her. She is a mother of two children, 5 and 6 years old. Both fathers are not involved. She just recently married a new man, and as a man in her house, she has a home. And right now, she's using a court-appointed attorney that has some type of background. She doesn't know where her attorney's going to go, but right now she's at the crossroads. They told her, she'd have visitations, and they turned it off. And then, have they started your visitations again, Ileana?
No, I'm not gonna see my kids again until December 5th because they're going on vacation and they won't make up my visits. And I only see my kids twice a month.
Now, what does the court order say?
Once a week.
Well, then you need to enforce it, and you need that attorney to enforce it.
Well, they can't. They have to make up the visits. That's not a choice. If the foster care people are going on vacation, they can't cut back your visits so they can go on vacation. They have to make those up. The agency is required to make those up.
They never, ever, every time they've canceled my visits and stuff, they've never made up my visits.
Well,
They say that if they feel like it, they can, but they don't make up my visits. If anything, they cut my visits themselves without a court order. So my attorney told me a few days ago that she was going to look into it. So I'm waiting for her response.
Well,
yeah, they're required to make them up if they cancel them. If you cancel them and it's not doctor's excused, then they're not required to make up the visit that you missed. But they have on their end. It's in their own policies and procedure manual.
Do you have access to a computer?
Yes.
Okay, I want you later tonight or tomorrow to go on your computer, and there's a certain format you need to type in with the words. Now, what is the city in Florida that you're close to?
I'm in Tampa, Florida.
Okay, you type in Tampa, Florida, and right after that, you put in the word CPS, and everybody knows what CPS is. I know in Florida they may call it something else, but anyway, type in CPS. Then after that, you type in a procedure manual, and it will pop up. And you need to look at that and tell your court-appointed attorney that she needs to address that in the court.
Procedure manual.
Yeah, procedure manual. Like when you buy a car, they give you an owner's manual or a handbook. In social services, it's called a procedure manual.
Policies and procedures.
What is it again?
Policies and procedures manual.
Policies and procedures manual. You got a pen and paper there? You can write down.
Yeah, I have my computer actually open.
Right. And when you start off with Tampa, Florida CPS, and then you type in policy and procedure manual, it'll pop up. It will pop up.
They should have a parent's handbook that tells what the child's rights, the parent's rights are when a child is removed from your care, and what the social worker's role is.
Well, when they got removed, I told them, that my kids, they have family, and they still put my kids with whoever they wanted. And now that lady, actually, she even got a job with them because now she works for the agency above them. I don't think that this is DCF over here. They're a contracted agency. that is
okay.
doing all this.
Whatever it's a third party, they use a lot of third parties. It all boils down to this. The social services has a branch mandated by Congress to protect our children from neglect and abuse. Okay. And those social workers, they may hire out to a third party group, but it's still all the same. They got to still
Right.
follow policies and procedures. So I'm trying to think. You may have to go to. See, I don't know this new attorney you have. Have you had? How long of a meeting have you had with her?
I had one. She just got appointed to me like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. And how did that meeting go? What did you guys talk about?
She asked me a lot of questions about the case, when it started, and I could hear her typing. She advised me from now on, don't talk to them about the case.
Right.
Try for everything to be, email and text messages. Do not sign anything. Do not fight with them. Let me handle it. If there is anything that you need to say about them, don't say it to them. Say it to me, because my job is to fight with them, and I'm going to help you. That's what she said.
Well, that sounds like a good start. But
Yes.
you got to keep a watch on her, because you have to understand the people paying her salary are the child protection system, or whatever that third party group is. See, the money flows from the federal government to the state and then to the county. And the county gives the money. And if they're hiring a third party entity to do their work there, I don't know. I'd have to study it, and after the show, I will take some time and look up Florida's CPS and look up Henderson County and see what I can find in there, in the Tampa area too. Because, you have a tough thing, because right now you're at a very serious point where they're taking away your supervised visits, and they are also want to terminate your parental rights. And that's really bad. You are entitled to educational and parental rights. Do not give them up. Do not sign anything. And if they happen to railroad you through in court, then immediately file an appeal, because you got to do it within 30 days.
Well, it depends. Some states it's 15 days.
All right, then do it in 15 days.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep. I'm not gonna give up on my kids, because I did everything. I've been clean. I have a beautiful home. I have a stable job where I've been for the past 3 years. I mean, I had every single thing they told me, even if I didn't agree, I did it. And I also got a psychological evaluation, which was passed. Yeah, I did very good on it. And they still can't come to peace with that, because every time we go to court, the case manager is questioning the doctor's credentials, as if I manipulated the doctor to give me good results. And she can't. So now they got me doing therapeutic visits with a former guardian ad litem who is a foster parent herself. And she has nothing but bad things to say about me. But they all work together.
They all work together, and you don't need to speak to the Lightem people, because they're trickery.
I would like to ask a question, y'all.
Go ahead, Faye. Ask the question.
Okay. So y'all waited so long, you made me forget it.
That's all right.
God.
It's okay. Take your time.
No, I don't remember now.
Okay, well,
And
maybe
it was really important.
It'll come back to you. We're talking with Ileana from Florida, from the Tampa Bay area, and she has a serious case where her two children, 5 and 6 year olds, are trying to be adopted by a bad foster care family, and she is been drug free. She's got a mental evaluation from a bona fide doctor. Was that the doctor they picked, or or is that the doctor you picked?
They picked.
Well, then I don't understand that at all, because if they pick the doctor, are all the drug tests their drug tests? See, you're using their drug tests. See, I always tell people to get your own drug tests and your own evaluation, because they will use people that are friends of them. So it's all coming back negative. So they are trying to stall and try to think of ways to get your children, because it's a money-making thing. You see, they look at those two foster kids at 5. And that means they'll keep those kids in foster care till they're 18. So they can make all that money year after year after year and pay that foster family that will get the money too. And that's not the way to do adoption of children. Children should be with the biological parents. You are married now, and you got yourself a husband, a home, a good job. You meet all the criteria to have the children returned to you for family reunification. So we need to get that attorney that you got to work on that, to change it from a termination of your parental rights to a family reunification. We need to get that covered.
Has the attorney at any point in your case tried to file a motion for the judge to consider that your circumstances has changed since the removal of the children?
No, she hasn't put in any motions.
Okay, you need to get a holder. In California, it's called a 388 motion. What it is, it's a motion with new evidence that your attorney, when you talk to your attorney, tell them that you want to file a motion of new evidence that you want to submit to the court. The judge has to, within 30 days, hold a hearing. And the hearing is when you submit that you have a clean drug record, you've taken a program class, that you've did all the parenting classes, you're drug-free, you're married, you got a viable home, you got a job, and you want to have a family reunification done right away.
See, in my state, I'm in Kentucky. If you're married, you're in a better position to get your kids back than a single mom that's had their kids took away. Okay, that's in your favor, especially if your husband doesn't have any major issues, like, any major drug problems himself or any criminal record that's, bad or anything like that, because, they'll hold that against you if they do. But anyways, if he doesn't have anything like that, then even if they say you can't parent them well on your own, well, you have a man that's willing to help you with them. So therefore, there's two parents in the home where one might lack, the other one will pick up the slack. So that makes it more in your favor to get your children back, because instead of your children just always relying on you, they're going to have another parent to rely on too.
Well,
yeah, and they did a background check on him, and he passed it. They made him take parenting classes. He took them, and they still won't make him a party of the case.
Well, that's because your attorney's allowing it. There's no reason for him to not be a party to the case if he's married to you. This is these children's stepfather.
You have to enter into court this motion of new evidence. You being married is new evidence. Being married is new evidence. But you need to get that before the judge, the dependency law judge.
And this attorney, if he's not going to help you, and listen, if you don't get this attorney to help you and to file motions and to rebuttal the things that the cabinet's saying, and make objections to things that they say in court, then you're not going to have any chance on appeal, because on an appeal, you don't get to submit any new evidence. Okay, so it's mainly going to go off what was put on the record with the court at the time of the case. And if there's only the cabinet or DCF, DFACS, whatever you call it, where you're at, only their evidence is viewable to the appeals court, then you're not going to stand a chance if you don't get your things on the record.
So can you call that attorney tomorrow, Friday, and say that you want to file a motion to have new evidence submitted in court.
Yeah.
Change of circumstances is the key word. Change of circumstances. You can type that in. Type that in. Tampa, Florida, CPS, how to file a motion for change of circumstances.
And I just went to her office and I dropped off like a folder this big, full of documents, because I documented everything, doctors, evaluations, I mean, all kinds of stuff. She said she was going to go through it. I don't know if she has, but
did you give
she also did an interview with me. So
did you do
Did you give her all your copies, or did you keep copies for yourself as well?
no, I kept copy. I have copies. Yeah,
Good.
and I got them on a flash drive.
Anything that you give the anybody that's involved in the case, whether it be attorneys, the judge, social workers, attorneys, guardian ad litems, anyone, that make sure you give them a copy, and you always have a copy for yourself. Because a lot of times what they do is they get rid of evidence so that it's not seeable to the judge. They do away with it. You give it to them, but they don't present it into the file. And so when the judge looks at the file, he doesn't see it because they didn't put it in there.
Yeah, that's what the department has been doing. They've been filing whatever they feel like filing, and when I present them with something, they yell at me for it. So my lawyer just told me to just send it to her and don't send the department anything else.
Right. You need to
But
go.
she said she was gonna file everything.
Yeah, you need to go through that attorney, and if she is that good with 30-some years of being an attorney, she could be your gateway to get your case resolved. Because it sounds from talking to me that with the new evidence, the judge has got to decide in family reunification. That's what the motion is going to be for. You want to enter new evidence and for family reunification.
And when you do that, you need to put in there that your psychological that you passed, any parenting classes that you completed, domestic violence classes, drug courses, your clean drug tests, a whole 9 yards needs to be in that change of circumstances motion.
Okay.
Yeah, the change of circumstance motion is really important. Remember, it's Tampa Bay, Florida, CPS, change of circumstances motion. Change of circumstance motion. Now, I know in California and Maine it's called 388, but in Florida, I don't know. I have to look it up.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna tell her. I mean, she has all the documents too, so
Okay.
I feel like I'm a little bit ahead. I just have to let her know about the change of circumstances motion. I had no idea about that.
No, that's what you see. We're sharing things that I've talked to over 600 people. Faye has been with me for probably half a year or more, and she was brought up in foster care and hurt and molested and tortured and everything. And then later she had a child, 2 children, one with special needs, and she had to make a decision which child to keep. And of course, she stuck with her special needs son and let her daughter go, but her daughter was taken by the judge, by the CPS people there, and it was terrible because, how can you be okay for one child, excuse me, not okay for the second child? So, facing it all, and she's in a very corrupt state. The police are corrupt. I don't know how much more they talk about Kentucky. They call their CPS the cabinet, and she all the time is researching and looking and giving advice and fighting too. She's been buffaloed too. She had hoped with the new cabinet, the new ombudsperson, that she get a new consideration of her case. But that turned out to be a joke. They let her up and they pulled her down. Just like you. You thought you get close to seeing your children and then they let you down. And you're hurting because of it. And that's wrong. CPS is notorious to do that. CPS is notorious to do that.
Yeah, my kids, they tell me every time they can, they tell me they want to come home, that they don't want to be there no more, that the lady's mean. We've had issues already with that lady putting her hands on my child, and supposedly a safety plan was put into motion, but I've never heard about anything about safety plans or them checking on my kids and stuff. And my kids, I mean, they cry before they have to leave. They don't want to be with her. They want to be with me. And then they tell the judge that my kids don't love me, that my kids are not, they don't listen to me, that I'm always scaring them or yelling at them and using intimidation to discipline them. And that's not true. That's not true at all. But
Alienation tactics. It's common alienation tactics. They did the same thing with my son and me. They came right to my house and told me that my son hated me, he didn't love me, didn't want to call me mom no more, didn't ever want to come back home to me, and then he didn't want to see me. And they stopped my visits with him for 8 months. 8 months I didn't get to see, talk to, nothing. Didn't know where he was or anything. And then I found out later that they were going to him and telling him, a bunch of bull crap lies that I didn't want him, and that's why he was in their care, that I didn't love him, and all this crap that was a bunch of lies. And then when he got away from them and got to this institution in Lexington, or Louisville, called the Home of the Innocents, and got under a different therapist away from the cabinet therapist, the cabinet therapist was putting a bunch of crap in his head too. Them therapists are evil, I'm gonna tell you. And
yeah, I have one of those.
Yeah.
The new therapist was like, well, that's not what I've heard since he's been here. Since he's been here, all I've heard him ask about is you. Where's my mom? Where's my mom? Why can't I see my mom? Why can't I talk to my mom? And talked about family life at home and how it was a good life until CPS come in and ruined it. Yeah, girl, all of that. That's their way of turning your children against you, to make them fearful of you and make them not want to come back home.
And that is against the law. Alienation is against the law. And CPS uses it all the time. Foster care people use it all the time. Ex-spouses will use it against you, other spouse, to try to get the children to like them and not their mother or father, whatever the case may be. So,
and the foster people want to adopt your children, especially if there's 2 or 3 of them. Well, because that makes them money every month.
Yeah, and I know they're supposed to offer if they want to go that way so badly. My kids have family, and I've told them, but they keep saying that no, that this lady, she's gonna be the one to adopt my kids. They're like, no, not giving me options, not caring that my kids have, grandma and auntie or anything.
When they do that, they're breaking federal law. Federal law in the CPS cases states that they must seek out family members first. And if they're not doing that, they're breaking federal law. That needs to be brought up in court as well by your attorney.
Definitely.
Yeah, you need to tell your attorney that the agency, whatever it is, the third party group, whatever the name of that group is, they're breaking the law, because there are federal mandates that have to be followed. And your attorney needs to be aggressive enough to bring them before the judge. Hopefully the judge is not corrupt. Have you heard the judge before?
The judge, I've only seen the judge a handful of times. Because we always used to go every 6 months to a magistrate, and this whole time it's always been a judicial review. This is the first time that we're gonna go to in front of the judge for something like this.
How has that judge been towards you?
I'm sorry?
How's that judge been towards you? How's he been?
I can't tell yet because I don't know her. I knew of her because, she's the judge handling my case, but we've never been in front of her except when the unsupervised visits, when they took that from me. And now that we are doing this TPR thing, I mean, obviously she accepted it. I mean, we're going to have an advisory hearing on the 26th. I really can't tell. I've been going to a magistrate every 6 months for a judicial review just to see how the case is going, and nothing's ever happened.
Okay. Wow. Well, we got some ideas, and also I want you to be rest assured, Ileana, that I'm on twice a day, 7 days a week. So I'm not going to disappear on you. You always can come to the show, and if it's not morning, maybe the nighttime works better, or vice versa. But you have an uphill battle. First of all, you got yourself a new attorney. You don't know how this attorney is going to perform. You'll find out very quickly when you tell her to file that motion of new evidence, new things.
Don't let her say, I don't want to do that. It's not up to you. You are my attorney. You work for me, and I'm telling you, I want the motion filed. It doesn't matter what she thinks about it or how she feels about it. You want her to file it. Only thing that can happen is the judge dismisses it. But regardless, if you file it, the judge may not dismiss it. There's, you got a 50-50 chance there, regardless.
Because
Thank you for that information.
All the judge can say no,
But if you don't try it and you don't do it, then neither one of you will never know if it's going to work or not.
Also, the second thing you need to do is enforce your court orders on visitation. That's something you can bring up at that hearing. Not only new evidence, you can sit there and say, I have court orders that says I have visitations, and my visitation's not been happening. Then the judge can look at the agency and discipline them. Because it's important, if you have court orders that spell out specifically when you can have your visitations, then you're supposed to have it. It doesn't make any difference if the foster care people need to go on vacation or wherever they want to do.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if they do go on vacation. Those days are required to be made up. I know because in my case, they had to do it.
Yeah. So if they're going to take off for 4 days, then they have to give you another 4 days of makeup.
Yep. It's only when you cancel and you don't present a doctor's excuse that they don't have to make the dates up. But if the agency,
Which I never do. I never miss my visits. Never.
Yes, I understand that. Now, I do want to say hello to someone that came in the room. Her name is Lori Hilner. She's been in my show almost every time. I've done this show over 600 times, and because I do it twice a day at 14 shows a week times 52 weeks, that's a lot of show times. And so Lori comes to the room, and she always will say a special person, but she's been a listener. And I just want to recognize Lori and thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. Now, what else do you have? Because we have about 7 minutes left of your time. Also, before I forget, would you like to speak to real dependency attorney Vincent Davis?
Yes, I do hear him on YouTube.
Right.
I do watch him on YouTube.
I can make arrangement that you can talk to him for 15 minutes of private consultation on Zoom.
and maybe he can give you some good ideas to help you stop.
Yeah, he'll give you some ideas on how to stop the termination of your rights. Your parental rights, your TPR. So all I need from you is to, I need you to. You have my phone number. Let me put my phone number up because I want you to text me on my phone number. Okay, there's my number. You see it?
Yes. I'm
Okay,
trying to copy it.
yeah, copy that number down. And what you're going to do is you're going to text me your name, your full name, first and last, your phone number, and your email. And then I'm going to forward that on to Grace. I'm the one that determines at the beginning stages of you talking to Vincent Davis. So you've talked on the show as a guest. You're entitled to a free 50-minute private consultation with one of the top attorneys in the country. He has 35 years of fighting CPS. He's also fought them professionally, um, uh, lawsuits in both the state and federal, and got millions of dollars back from them. He's a pit bull of an attorney, but he's a nice man. He's going to be on this Saturday with questions and answers at 10 o'clock. I normally come on at 10, but I come on 2 hours early at 8 so that people can attend his session. So you need to write that on your calendar. Saturday at 10 o'clock, we'll have a podcast. Now, the web page for that will show up when my podcast ends, so you can copy that again. But it's really important. If you want that, I can arrange that. And believe me, you talk to him for 50 minutes. He'll help navigate you, and he'll tell you how to do the how to stop your termination of your parental rights.
Saturday at 10. Is there like a website or?
There is 2 web addresses. One is going to be the register for that particular show. The other one is to join Vincent's school. There's no charge for joining his school.
Okay.
I mean, right now, his school membership benefits, it's a web link. And it's one of the comments that came in from one of the rooms, but it says, for benefits, you go to https://www.schoolschool.fight/CPS/about ABOUT. And so you can do that. Okay.
Okay.
But you'll see the website come up. Both of them will come up, or my phone number will disappear. There'll be a website there. You'll be able to see it.
Okay.
To the left of my phone number. But I don't want you to feel like, I hope you got something out of your call or you be on the show. You've helped us tremendously because you helped out other people that have similar problems. And by you telling me, you've done everything possible, you should have no problem getting your children back to family reunification. They deserve with you. I mean, just because you did drugs doesn't mean you kept doing them. And you said that you've gone through a drug treatment program, you've gotten yourself psychologically evaluated, you've taken drug tests, and everything's been fine, and you've taken parenting classes, and you've shown nothing that would tell them you would make a good mother. And being married will help you also have a father that cares. That is a strong family. That family deserves the mother you are and the man you married to raise those 2
Thank
girls.
you.
They deserve you 2 people. Okay? And so
Thank you so much.
I want you to, don't hesitate to call me back again, but don't forget to text me that information so I can notify my show producer, okay?
Yes.
Okay, you just text it at 626-698-0990. I'll look for, what's your area code so I look for the right one?
Okay. Yeah, I wrote it down.
What is your area code? So I know it's you.
Oh, it's 813.
813. Okay, I'll look for 813 when it comes up. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to ask? Because we're now getting ready to end the podcast. Anything else?
No, I just wanted to tell my story and stuff. You gave me some good ideas, and that I'm going to talk to my lawyer about.
Good.
She has all the all my paperwork and everything. So I mean, all she has to do is put in the motion for new evidence. So,
Okay.
and she
I will-
has all the documents. So
Well, it's called a change of circumstance with new evidence.
Change of circumstance with new evidence.
Mhm.
Change of circumstance with new evidence.
change of circumstances with new evidence.
There you go. There you go. Well, I'm going to sign off again. Thank you for being a guest on my podcast, and hopefully you'll have a good 15-minute session with Vincent Davis. Thank you, Faye, for listening and helping out Juliana. It's really good to have your support. I'm glad you were able to talk to her. And again, thank you, all my listeners. Thank you, Lori, for saying hi. And again, I'll be on tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Now, I should be on tomorrow afternoon, but I don't know the time. Look for it. I'll tell you my morning show that it looks like it'll be more close to 4 o'clock than at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. So God bless you all. Thank you for listening and keep fighting for your kids. Listen to what Vincent has to say when I sign off. God bless you. And you can hang around and listen. Listen.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So now I can go ahead and let's get rid of that phone number. And then I'll go ahead and it should.
Hi, I'm attorney Vincent Davis, and I've been fighting CPS for over 35 years. Through my years of experience, I've gained invaluable insights that I'm ready to share with you. If you're a parent or a caregiver or a relative, we need to talk. I'm offering a new opportunity for you to speak with me on a one-on-one basis. Ask me any questions, and I'll provide you with the insight you need to take steps in your CPS case. Members get everything they need to gain confidence and the knowledge that they need to support necessary to truly fight back. And as a special thank you for attending, I have a special offer just for you. Don't miss out. Join us, and let's take that next step together. I'll see you at the question and answer event.